Tell me when you're ready.
2, 1.
Okay, I am on stream, right? Okay. Hello. Yeah. Alright, ready to start the timer? We'll just do a 5-second countdown. Alright.
Yep.
5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Let's go. Okay. Hi everyone. This is Dragon Age Inquisition. So, we're on the first mission, which honestly is not really broken at all, even though this entire game is completely broken. So this first mission's like 8 minutes of the 30-ish minutes of the run. So, yeah. It's the only real strat I failed, so that's cool. Which is, there's a cutscene skip there, so that saves half a second, or like half a second, like 1.5 seconds, where you quick save on the cutscene trigger and then quick load, and you skip the cutscene. Okay, I'll fix my audio. Okay, I turned myself up.
Drop your.
Hopefully you guys can hear me better. Try to talk a little bit louder too.
Make a note what we will face.
So yeah. First mission's not particularly interesting. We're just basically gonna go through as intended. So the main strats we're using there was that cutscene skip that I failed, and then I guess the main other things that save time here, there's a bunch of fights that I'm gonna do. There's some strats to do those fast. And jumping while you're running on flat ground is faster than just walking or running, but not when you're going up hills or really down hills too much either. So I'll try to jump on flat ground, but not a lot of the ground in this mission is not flat. That really only matters until I get a specific ability that lets me level up faster. Okay, so here's the first real fight that there's any strats for. So I have to kill 2 of these 3 enemies here to get a cutscene to play. So I usually try to taunt them both, and yeah, and then you just try to hit them both because your swing can hit both as long as they're close together.
I did nothing.
And more cutscenes.
He means.
One thing that's really annoying about this mission is that you can't turn off the tutorial text at all for it. So even if you've played the game before, you'll still get all the tutorial messages like the ones popping up now, but there's not just this one that's annoying, there's ones that like stop you when you're moving, which you're gonna see in like 10 seconds here. It's pretty annoying. Yeah, see. And then it pulls me out into tactical cam. So one thing that's also really annoying about this mission is that you move a little bit faster when you're out of combat versus in combat. But the game doesn't really like it. So there's a button here that's supposed to disengage you from combat, but it doesn't really like to actually do that when you tell it. So you'll see me, I keep pulling out my sword. I don't really want that to be happening, but the game doesn't like to listen to you. Unfortunately, you cannot sit in any chairs in this game, but there's plenty of equally broken stuff to sitting in chairs. Once we get out of the first area. Also, I should mention, you can actually skip this entire mission using glitches, but it doesn't really trigger the rest of the game properly to actually let you be thinking. So you can get out of this area, do some stuff we can't really. Okay. This one's really annoying because you have to kill 4 enemies and 2 of them like to stay at range. Round. It's also very hard to get your teammates to attack the enemies you want them to.
Right away, Cassandra. We're clear for the moment.
Okay.
Well done.
Also,
Whatever
yeah,
that
as you can
favors
see, I still can't put away my weapon. Alright, so
How do you think?
there's 2 different options of what you can do there for the story. This one happens to be faster. So now I'm gonna level up because this is the first time it lets me level up. I got the ability called Charging Ball, which is the fastest way to move in this game. So you're gonna see me use that as much as I can when I'm running around. It has a cooldown period and it's also stamina dependent, so if you run out of stamina, it'll stop running. Which can be annoying. One other strat that it's really hard to describe what I'm doing is with the combat. It really won't make sense unless you play this game, but basically, if you see me auto-attacking, I do like 2 attacks that are kind of pretty fast, and then there's like really long, like spin around, charge up, last attack, which is really fucking slow. So usually, you can't do anything about that, but there is one way to interrupt the attack chain. So that you can just get back to the first attack in the 3 attack auto attack chain, and so
Is it?
try to do that whenever possible.
Temple of
So
Sacred Act.
it's really annoying sometimes. You have to spam like 1 and escape to skip through the dialogue, but 1 is also a button that you have all your abilities bound to, so if I smash it for too long, I'll just use an ability as soon as I get out of the cutscene. It's really annoying because it takes some time. Okay, so this is the end of the first mission, which is just a boss fight, which is also really dumb how it works. Basically, in every other part in the game, when you fight bosses with guard, which is just like a shield they have, you can damage them, bring down their guard. The only way to bring down the guard of the boss here is to like use an ability with this green glowing shit. So you basically have to try to time it properly so that you actually kill the boss fast. It's kind of hard to explain. Also, these ads will fucking spawn and interrupt you, and no matter what you do, they only like to attack you. Your teammates can't really pull the aggro off you. And if you're getting attacked when you're trying to interact with this thing to blow up the guard on the boss, you'll just reset, and it's like a 6 or 7 second long thing that you have to be using like this. So it's pretty annoying. So there are some like strats to this fight, but it's kind of hard to explain how they work unless. Yeah. But they're really not particularly interesting. It's just minor ways to abuse how this fight works. Also, if it wasn't clear, I am playing this on the easiest difficulty, as all speedruns should be, but this fight is really fucking stupid on the hardest difficulty in this game. And like, when I did some speedruns of the hardest difficulty of this game, this fight is just awful on it. The game is really not well balanced, especially at the beginning on the hardest difficulty. It's kind of just luck if you can get this fight done fast. First difficulty, which is really not what you want having happen. It's died there. That's okay. So we're done with the first mission. So we just get some cutscenes. So now I can actually start to explain what we're trying to do to beat the game really fast. So I'm gonna hit some cutscene triggers that I have to here to really advance the story. So this is part of what you can't do if you skip the first mission. You can't really properly advance the triggers I'm using right now, which prevents you from getting access to some things we need to beat the game. Oh yeah, we should be jumping. Jumping really doesn't save that much time when you're walking a Flycon. It's just slightly bit faster, so...
Gone completely mad.
Doesn't waste too much time if I forget to do it.
Providence.
Alright, so more cutscenes, more cutscenes. So... First thing I'm going to do is, after this, is I'm going to come back. So that's like the last real cutscene I have to do anything. But I do need to unlock some stuff to help me beat the game. It's not that you do like triggers you have to do, it's just to help you do it as fast as possible. I could go technically and try to hit all the triggers for the end of the game from this point, but
Does it trouble?
one of the so you do most of the rest of the game like super under leveled. Like we're gonna be like level 8 when we fight the final boss or something like low like that, and the final boss is level 20. And for reference, the level cap in this game is like 27, so they're basically very far ahead of us, and they will one-shot us with every attack as we are equipped now, and we won't be able to do like any damage to them. So one of the things we're going to try to do to avoid that is, or to, well, avoid dying to everything instantly, is we're going to get an item from the war table here, which we need to watch this cutscene basically to be able to do. Otherwise it doesn't appear. So as soon as you do unlock the hinterlands, which we're never actually going to go to, this Hardened Hightown mission appears on the war table. So this is one thing that's really annoying about this game if you've never played it before. There's lots of like missions that are based on like real life time, but if you just change the clock on your computer, you can automatically complete them. So that's what we do for the speedrun, rather than wait around for 15 minutes. So that gives us an item called an Amulet Power, which basically just is associated with a specific character in the game, and it gives them an extra skill point. So that one's for Varric, the one we got there. So basically, we're going to need that because we're going to dupe it later to unlock basically every ability in the game for Varric. So here's the real glitch coming up that saves a lot of time. So this glitch was found towards the end of last year. And prior to that, the record for this game was about 1 hour and 54 minutes, I think. Now the record is 27 minutes, so this glitch saves like 1 hour and a half. Also, okay, so this game is really stupid. To be able to do this glitch, I need to be able to get in combat, and for whatever reason, sometimes it like won't put you in combat when you attack there. And the easiest way to fix that is just to go to the main menu and reload your save. So yeah, this was found in I think September or October of last year, something like that. And it saved 1 hour and a half. Alright, so basically what we do is we get in combat, we walk on this trigger here. So when you're in combat, you're not supposed to be able to walk onto these world map triggers. And so the game won't pop it up. But if you're standing on top of the world map trigger, you quick save and then quick load. When you reload the save back in, the world map will pop up when you reload the save, but every single location on the world map that's available in the entire game will be unlocked.
You'll have to.
So you can get access to every zone in the game, every location that shows up on the world map, right at the beginning of the game. So we have to go to Crestwood first, just to hit some story triggers that allow us to complete the game. There's literally nothing else we have to do, so we're just going to basically do the same glitch again here. And now we're going to go to Infri du Leon, which is not a location you technically need to go to complete the game normally. It just happens to be the best location to fastly gain access to some crafting materials. So
The
we're gonna
rest.
get. So we're gonna do a different application of that same glitch right here, which is to use it, but to use it to not leave the zone, but to do something with it in the same zone. So it kind of works the same way in the. If you stay in the same zone, you can also unlock every location within the same zone. So like all the different camps, you can go to them directly. So we're gonna use that to go to this keep. It brings us right to the end of it where we can just capture it. So this will give us a bunch of experience, 10 power, and then most importantly, it gives us access to some more war table things that we can use to get leather, which is a great bear hide. I don't remember what it's called. Great bear leather, great bear hide, which is a crafting material we want. And now we're just gonna go back here and grab this Dawnstone deposit that's always right here, which is a tier 3 metal. That's the last crafting material we need. And because we went to Crestwood, so the triggers advance properly now that it thinks we're supposed to be going to Skyhold rather than Haven. It just replaces it on the map rather than having it treated as 2 separate locations. So yeah, now we're at Skyhold, which will be permanently in this really dark state and completely broken the rest of the game. So it doesn't actually properly advance Skyhold's state, glitching the game this way. Now, like I said, we're going to go to the war table because we want to get that great bear hide. We're also going to unlock Storm Coast, so we actually don't have the ability to fast travel to any locations other than Hinterlands and Skyhold right now. In Hinterlands, the location where you can do the world map glitch, which is that glitch I was doing, is very far away from where you start off compared to where the one in Storm Coast. So we're gonna unlock it because it saves some time. So there's a great bear hide. Storm Coast to unlock that. That's all we need to do at the war table. Okay. So the next thing we do is just go to dupe a whole lot of things. So one thing I didn't mention, and it's only really super relevant for right now, is that we play this run on actually 2 different patches of the game. So far I've been on an unpatched version of the game, like from launch basically, because it gives you access to this glitch that was patched out, which I'm about to use, which allows you to dupe crafting materials at a vendor. I fucked up, dude. Okay. So basically I need like 100 something great bear hide and like 50 dawnstone. Technically it's a bit less than 50. So technically I usually dupe up to like 140 something great bear hide and 48 dawnstone. That just turns out to be the numbers. About that. But after this, I'm gonna switch patches to the current patch of the game to be able to access some other stuff to go even faster. So I don't want to actually be duping iron here. The way this glitch works is that you can either dupe all of the material I've selected, or you can dupe everything other than the material you have selected. So you usually try to select iron so you can dupe the 2 things you actually want to dupe, Dawnstone and Great Bear Hide at the same time, but I keep fucking up. Maybe that should be it. Okay. So yeah, don't be, I think this is weird. My screen's about to go black for about a minute here, so I can switch patches. So I quick save. Exit out of the game. Exit out of Origin. Hopefully Origin still works after this. And basically I just have both versions of the game in my Origin game folder, and I rename one It always just looks at the folder named Dragon Age Inquisition, so I have one named something different and one named Dragon Age Inquisition, and I just change which one's named Dragon Age Inquisition depending on which patch I want to play on. Hold on a second. I forgot to turn on auto sign in again for Origin because I just reinstalled it trying to get it work earlier. Give me a second because my password's in a password manager. Okay. Oh no, that's not good. Hold on. That's not good. So I got the same error that I was getting earlier today. Okay, it's fine. It's fine. We're fine. What? What? It's trying to tell me I need to update. Hold on, I don't need to update. Because it should be on the right patch now. Okay. Verifying game files. It usually doesn't require me to do this. I don't know why it's asking me to patch, because there's obviously no patch of this game.
Hey, fella. Having
Hey.
some troubles?
I think it should be okay. The first time I tried to sign back into Origin, it gave me the same error again, but then I just went back in again, it was fine. But now it's telling me I need to patch when I don't. So it probably is just going to verify the game files, which he says is half done doing already, and then see that it doesn't need to update, and then it'll be fine. Origin is an awful program, guys. Don't speedrun games on Origin. Okay, we're 80% done with verifying game files.
Nice.
It's okay.
That's
My estimate is very generous, so we should be fine either way. I'll probably actually if I was doing a run, actually, I'd probably finish in less than 40 minutes. And okay, preparing, finalizing. Okay, ready to play. Okay. Sorry, it's asking me if I want to use cloud saves or not cloud saves. And both the times looked exactly the same. It was like 8 p.m. or 8 p.m. And I was like, wait. But one was yesterday and one was today. So.
Yeah, I paused it, but it was a bit late.
Okay. We're back to the game now.
Let me know when to resume the timer.
Yeah, you can restart the timer again.
Okay.
Alright. So. There's two reasons why we're going to play on the new patch for everything other than that duping part. One is the Golden Nug, which lets you unlock a bunch of crafting schematics without actually having to do anything. I didn't really want to select this item to craft, but it's fine. So I'm only going to be crafting gear for Varric here, so just an armor set and some weapon upgrades. I think the other one is the one I crafted. Okay. So yeah, the Golden Nug, which I got these from, doesn't exist until the most recent patch of the game. And the duping method I'm about to use in a second does exist on some patches before the most recent patch, but not the one I was playing on before. is I have to use the party chest to dupe, and the party chest is just something that was added after the, like, I don't know, 3 patches into the game or something like that. So yeah, I'm gonna dupe amulets now, up until I have a full inventory of them, which is 60. One thing I like to do here is have some extra in the chest, because it's very easy to accidentally take one out rather than dupe it. So basically what we're going to try to do is we're going to hit the button to withdraw it from the chest, and then hit escape to exit out of the chest at the same time, and that will keep it in the chest but also pull one into your inventory. So as you can see, the number you can see in the chest of 4 is not changing. But you just have to trust me that I'm actually pulling some out. Yeah, they did not like how people were cheating in a single-player game. That's why they patched up the duping of the crafting materials. But then they said they kept this one in because people liked it. Yeah, see, this is what I don't want to have happen. Okay, so we're almost done anyways. Okay, inventory is full. That's a good sign. Okay, so now we're just going to go over to Varric, equip the armor we crafted, and then we're going to use all of these Amulets of Power. Okay, hopefully that worked. And then we travel to the Storm Coast. Alright. I think it's very strange that they got rid of one of the type of duping because they didn't want people cheating in a single player game, but then kept the other one because people liked it. People liked both. It doesn't really make any sense to me. Also, the crafting material duping in this game was a variation on something that was possible in literally both other Dragon Age games, even though they were on completely different engine, which is really funny to me. Like there was a there's a dupe involving doing a similar thing at a vendor in both the other Dragon Age games. Sorry, I need to rebind a bunch of abilities. Oh, fuck, dude. I'm dumb. Okay, that's all I need to do here. So, just gonna do this map glitch again. So here's the real reason you can actually use this to beat the game really fast. There's only one location in the entire world map that interacts with the main quest in any way. Most of the main quest is like completely set off from the zones you can travel in for the world map. One of them is, which is the Altar of Mythal. So, for whatever reason, you can't actually trigger any of the Altar of Mythal stuff. But it turns out that the Altar of Mythal is on the same map as the Arbor Wilds, which is where the second to last kind of real story mission of the game is. So if we do a glitch there, which involves the tactical map, which when you're out of bounds in the tactical mode, the game tries to pull your screen to somewhere that is actually in bounds. And if you just click to move to a location that's in bounds, you'll just teleport there. So we get back in bounds in this mission by doing that. And now it just has us on the second to last story mission of the game. And really the last like main one. There's like this one, there is the final boss, and then there's the Ultimate Mythal, which is basically just a cutscene and a boss fight depending on what you do. Although for this, we'll have to do the boss fight. So, you know, at the end of this mission, if you've played it before, you get a choice, like a story choice, of either you or Morrigan drinking out of this kind of pool, which has a bunch of memories that all the elves have like gathered up over hundreds of thousands of years or something like that. If we have Morgan drink from it, we can't actually complete the game because Morgan is not in Skyhold, and you have to talk to Morgan to advance the quest to know where the Altar of Mythal is. And if you try to use the world map glitch to get to the Altar of Mythal,
Must be the Temple of
it
Mythal.
won't do anything.
Be ready.
You have to hit the
Corruptors will be
trigger
there.
the proper way.
hear fighting ahead.
So, but if you drink from it yourself, like have the main character drink from it, you never have to talk to Morgan. You just figure out where the altar is, like on your own in the story. Like you drinking from it tells you where it is, so you can just fast travel there properly and then advance all the story quests. But if Morgan drinks from it, you don't have to fight up another boss. But if you drink from it, you do. So this was one of the things we did not realize right away when we found this glitch. We had never, ever had anyone other than Morgan drink from the well in the old route, because you had to fight an extra boss, so why would you do that? Like, there was no good reason to do it in the old route. But when we discovered this, we're like, oh fuck, we're gonna have to find some way to get Morgan into Skyhold. So we thought we were gonna have to do a mission literally just to get Morgan to show up in Skyhold so you could talk to her for 10 seconds to advance the quest. But thankfully, this was like basically the only interesting thing I contributed to this route, is I remembered that there was an alternate choice for this quest. I think someone would have realized to do it eventually, but at least initially, when we found this glitch, we had not thought to do that. So that would have made the run probably more like 50 minutes instead of like 28 minutes if we had to do it the whole extra stuff just to talk to Morgan for 10 seconds. So basically we'd have added 20 minutes to the run for a 10-second conversation just to be able to finish the story. If we still had to talk to Morgan.
Come on.
Okay. So here you're gonna see a kind of new to me glitch that was found as well relatively recently. So first off, we want to trigger some story advancing stuff. So we go down there so the game thinks we're down there, and then we use fallback plan, one of Varric's abilities, to teleport back up here. And then we're going to do a glitch, which is probably my least favorite skip in the run. So, yeah. How this works is basically you jump, go into tactical mode, and then you quickly swap between two characters. And for whatever reason, it sends the character you had jumped with slightly backwards. But sometimes it doesn't work. And you don't really know why it doesn't work sometimes, but if you quick save and quick load, it usually fixes it. Okay, it's working now. So I'm just going to sort of swap really fast between these two characters. And eventually, the main character will get pushed far enough that they'll be through the wall, ideally. It's very hard to tell when they're far enough, though. Yeah. It doesn't really like to work that well, though. Yeah. Okay, I'm gonna try quick save, quick load again. Sometimes if you like get partway through the wall, but not far enough, it'll just stop working after that unless you quick save and quick load again. As you can see, this is a very good glitch. Okay. Okay, we got it this time. Okay. So we get out of bounds here. And then we just walk through some untextured terrain, drop down, and get over here. And this gets us to the bottom of that lower area, sorry, to the end of that lower area, which we jumped back up from. Now we can properly advance the story. So if you do this on first try, it saves about 20 or 30 seconds. So it's definitely worth doing, but it's...
How has this come to...
Yeah, this does not hurt your fingers. Really, you don't have to mash that fast to get it to work. It's just annoying. It's just more inconsistent than it is difficult or hard, hard on your fingers. Basically now, I'm just gonna run through the rest of this area to the final boss fight and ignore all the enemies. It's the only enemy we have to kill here.
This place is like a maze.
temple doesn't exactly roll out welcome mats.
Alright, so one thing that's not been super clear so far is why exactly have I been using Varric to kill bosses, or to like kill everything? Like, why Varric specifically? I see a little bit of that on this fight, but it's really going to become more obvious on the fight after this, at the Altar Mythal. It's kind of hard to explain, but basically Varric has an ability called Opportunity Knocks, which is like a passive ability. Which says whenever you, so Varric or any of the other party members get a critical hit, it reduces all of Varric's cooldowns by a half second. Okay, I need Varric to have stealth available here, so I'm going to reload the save, which will get it off cooldown. Okay. Now, oh, I used the wrong ability, fuck. Okay, well, we're just gonna, improvise here. Hopefully I don't die. Okay, never mind. We're not gonna improvise here because I died. I used to have one of these abilities always bound on 3, not 4, and no, this run I for some reason have it bound on 4, not 3. Okay, I one-shot him. Okay, so yeah, ideally you wanna be in stealth, which makes your abilities automatically critical, and use this ability called Full Draw, which is just like the highest single attack damage in the game. So, you can one-shot the boss if you get the high roll of the damage range. So it's not exactly 100%, but it's not. Okay, so that's the end of this boss. Alright. So anyways, back to what I was explaining. Opportunity Knocks is just a passive that reduces all your cooldowns by a half second. So Varric I have as an archer, and he has there's an archery ability in this game called Leaping Shot, which is basically you shoot 12 arrows and then do a backflip away from an enemy. Well, each of those arrows counts individually for the Opportunity Knocks ability. So you can basically hit Leaping Shot. Basically, if you have a high enough crit chance, you will crit on all of them, and you'll automatically be able to Leaping Shot again. So basically, you just can spam Leaping Shot to do a fuckload of damage, because there's another ability, I don't remember what this one's called, which basically says for each consecutive hit with an arrow attack, you increase your damage by 10% for 10 seconds. And each of those shots, those 12 shots from it, also count for that. So you basically can get like 400, 500% increased damage, or higher from each shot. So, you know, they go from doing, which is probably more like 1,000. They go from doing like 200 to 300 a hit to like 3,000 or 4,000 a hit. And you'll see how useful that it is on this fight right here. So this boss has something like 250,000 HP, which is quite a lot. But it will not take very long to kill. Let's see. It's already dead.
That's enough to fight Corypheus, however. I have my dragon.
All you need now is Corypheus and bam! Dragon fight.
Alright. Now we should go back to Skyhold, the hub area again, and start the final boss. So yeah, you can do like... So that's gonna look a little bit more than it will in the next fight. I also used Varric's focus ability, which is just like an ultimate basically, which duplicate. For every time you use any archery ability, you get 2 of that. So, you know, instead of getting 12 shots per activation of Leaping Shot, I was getting 24, which really scales up the damage even more. And it just turns out that that fight of any of the fights in the rest of the game is the best one to use the ultimate ability on, in terms of how much time it saves. It doesn't save as much time on the final boss. fight. Just due to the nature of how the final boss fight works. Fuck. Getting too far ahead of myself. Trying to start skipping dialogue before I hit OK to start the mission.
Was the summoning
Yeah, so one of the problems with using the ultimate ability against the boss here is if you try to, if you'll do enough damage if you use it to take the entire boss's health down in one phase, but the game doesn't like you doing that, and it'll just soft lock if you kill him entirely in the first phase. So that's part of the reason you can't use it here.
A dragon! How clever of you!
So
It will avail you nothing.
I have to get in a specific position here to optimize my damage. Here. It's not exactly where I want to be, but still should be fine. Okay, that was a bit slow. It's fine. So this would be this part of the boss fight would be actually be the main place we would consider using it, the ultimate ability instead. But it's faster on the other dragon fight because that dragon has more HP than this one does. You can see we can't kill this one as fast when we're not fucking duplicating all of our abilities. So I just need to wait for Leaping Shot to get off cooldown because most of my other abilities actually don't do too much damage. Okay. Alright, so now the final part. This is really dumb. I'm gonna try to pull it off, but I have a lot. Unlike the other runners, I have a lot of trouble getting this to actually work for me.
Grant me power.
But we'll see what happens. If not, I'll just basically kill this boss the same way I killed the dragon there, which is just try to leap shot him a bunch. Okay, this is not working. Actually, you know what? I do want to show this off, so I'm gonna... How far back is this autosave? Yeah, this is right before here. Okay. For some reason, when I load autosaves, it usually fixes it. This is pretty entertaining what I'm going to try to do, so I think it would be a good end to run. But I will tell you, this is actually the fastest strat, so if you can get it to work consistently, which for some reason I can't, it is much faster than actually trying to DPS the boss down. Alright, so you stand over here and you attack him, and he starts coming towards you. And, oh my god. Main character knocked me. Stop.
The breach is getting bigger!
No, why do you
And
do
then
that?
the fate swallows the world,
Oh
right?
my god. Attack. Come on. So he has a lunge attack, and basically if you stand in a specific position, he'll just lunge at you off the side. I want to work for some reason. Come on. Oh, so close. Come on. Oh, it worked. Okay. There you go. Time.
Not like this. I have walked the halls of the Golden City.
Yeah.
Past the ages.
It usually does not take that long. I kind of got screwed by the main character falling down there. He was kind of like distracting the boss. Usually that doesn't happen. The main character will just stand behind you when you're standing on the edge there. Okay, so yeah, that's Dragon Age Inquisition any percent. It's quite broken. You get lots of duping, you get skipping an hour and a half of the main story. You get doing 50,000 damage per second, approximately. When bosses have like 250,000 health at most.
Thank you for the run.
Yeah.
Is there anything you'd like to say before I cut you off?
There's one thing I do want to show quickly. It's gonna
Afterwards,
take
you
like
will
30
begin-
seconds.
Enjoy the evening.
It's
while you
literally
can.
right here. I don't even need to load a save. So one thing that's really dumb about the way we beat the game is that we actually can't advance any further than this. So we beat the final boss, This is basically just like the post-credits sequence where you go and get to talk to all your party members. What you're supposed to do is you're supposed to go up to this door and be able to click on it and proceed with the rest of the credits, but you can't actually do that. So we actually debated for a little while whether or not we should count this as any percent if you can't go over here and trigger the credits, but we're like, come on. It would make the run like an hour longer, we think, to be able to do the necessary things to click this door to trigger the credits. So yeah, good game.
Nice.